Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Crypto Invest. I hope you had a great day, and today I want to share with you a few things. First up, I want to talk to you about Bitcoin. It is at an all-time high yet again today, so let's talk about that. I want to talk a little bit about CNBC, about how Brian Kelly is telling everyone to buy Bitcoin. I also want to talk a little bit about this article from CoinDesk relating to Amazon buying up Ethereum domains and cryptocurrency domains. I also want to talk about Bitcoin Well if you're not familiar with the concept. And last but not least, I do want to talk to you about my investment strategies. I want to share some of the things that I have learned along the way, and hopefully that is benefits for you. So before we continue, I do want to say that this is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as investment advice. So with that, let's move forward. So first up, look at it on your screen, CoinMarketCap. Bitcoin is above 6,600. It is at an all-time high again today. So overall, the market got beat up pretty badly beside Bitcoin. And I do want to acknowledge Bitcoin Cash as well. It has been doing pretty well. So those of you who are bullish on Bitcoin Cash, congratulations. And then another big gainer today is EOS. So EOS has been dying for a while, and in the last few days, it has been making some significant runs. So take a look at the EOS chart over the last 1 month. You will see that, man, look at that. That is very parabolic. But zoom out a little bit, EOS does have a pretty rough few months. Is peak at the beginning when it was as above $4 back in July 3rd, and then ever since it's just going down, down, down. I do want to say that EOS is still an ongoing ICO. It's gonna be a 1-year ICO, so EOS gonna be in the ICO mode for the next 10 months also. So keep that in mind. So every day there are more and more EOS being released into the market, and that certainly has something to do with the price. So let's first talk about one of the main topic of the day, which is Bitcoin price is at an all-time high yet again. So you look at this over the last 1 month. So within the last 30 days, Bitcoin went from 4,300 all the way to $6,622. Depending on where you look, the number can be a little bit different, but it has gone up quite significantly over the last 30 days. So yesterday, I shared with you the news about CME Group is gonna put together a Bitcoin futures within the next month or so. So that is definitely big news for Bitcoin. Certainly the news about CME Group with the Bitcoin future plans, some people like it, some people hate it. I get it, different opinions across the board. I don't want to get into it. There's an article here that talk a little bit about it. So I go ahead and leave the link in the description below if you are interested. Again, if you're new to the channel, I am coming at this from an investor perspective. I don't really get into any politics. So I'm just here to try to give you information, and hopefully that information will translate into some nice profit for you. Another reason that I spoke to you about yesterday is about SegWit2x. So we are about 2 weeks away. So 14 days and 14 hours from the time of this video. We are looking at November 16 at around 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. So that certainly has an effect on the price. Some other news that may be affecting the Bitcoin price is that yesterday, Brian Kelly's from CNBC, which is the mainstream media for finance news, especially for the US and the UK. He's coming out and talking really bullish about Bitcoin and telling people that they need to start buying Bitcoin now because Bitcoin will be the Amazon of the banks. So that does get a lot of media attentions, and I'm sure a lot of people saw this segment because CNBC is really popular. In this article from the Cointelegraph, there is an embedded video here, so I'll leave a link below if you want to see that. CNBC is a place that I go to get news about investment. some of you may not know, I have been in investment for a very long time. I deal with the stock market and also the mutual funds and the bonds market. And for a while, I was in the forex market. Back in the day when forex was 400 to 1 leverage, and then they go down to 100 to 1, and then of course it's a lot more regulated now. So the forex market 8 years ago is kind of like where we are, in my opinion, from a regulatory perspective with cryptocurrencies. 8 years ago, there wasn't a lot of regulations surrounding forex, but certainly it is very heavily regulated now, with trillions of dollars traded every day. So interesting information. Take a look for yourself. Another big news coming out today, also from, well, this one actually from CoinDesk, is about Amazon subsidiary registered for cryptocurrencies and Ethereum domain. So this is a pretty short article. Basically, they are saying that AmazonEthereum.com, Amazon Cryptocurrency.com, and Amazon Cryptocurrencies.com was registered yesterday for Amazon, and the entity that registered for these domains are linked to Amazon Technologies Incorporated, which is a subsidiary of Amazon.com. And for those who don't know, Amazon is huge here in the USA. Particularly, I would say they are the world's largest e-commerce. So if Amazon decided to accept cryptocurrencies as a payment method, that's gonna be huge in terms of adoption. Whether or not that adoption gonna turn into real price increase, we don't know. I mean, for all we know, they can, if they do accept Bitcoin, for example, and they turn around and sell the Bitcoin back on the market, then that may not be the best thing for Bitcoin. But from an awareness standpoint and from a news standpoint, this is fantastic. It certainly add on to the fire that Bitcoin currently having. Also, let's not forget, just about a few weeks ago, there was some rumors about Amazon accepting cryptocurrencies as payment, and that rumor turned out not to be the case. A lot of people were waited to hear some news from the annual conference call or the quarterly conference call from Amazon a week or two ago, and nothing was announced. So just because they bought these domains doesn't mean that they are going to accept cryptocurrencies as a form of payment. So I want to make sure you understand that. And also, let's not forget, back in 2013, Amazon bought AmazonBitcoin.com, and currently if you go to that website, it's going to link you back to the Amazon main page. So they haven't done much with that since 2013. Maybe it was too early. Maybe 2017, 2018 is the time to do it. I'm just not sure. But certainly, we have to look at these news and get the facts out of it. So what is the facts? Just like yesterday when I talked to you about CME trying to open up a Bitcoin future plan, I'm kind of lay out, look beyond the headlines, look beyond what is being said in the article, and draw your own conclusion. What is the fact? For example, in this case, if you remember, we talked about the fact is they are definitely trying to open a Bitcoin future trading platform. The news came directly from their CEO, so a very legit source. Whether or not they can open it is another story. And when it does open, what does it really mean? And I talk about how institutional can use futures. It's not insurance contract, but they can use future as some sort of insurance like contract to protect the downside of cryptocurrencies if they do choose to invest in Bitcoin. Same thing here. So the fact is Amazon bought these 3 domains yesterday, but they could just bought it just so then they can secure the name. So in the future, if they one day decide to accept Ethereum, then Amazon Ethereum will be part of the game plan, so then no one else can buy it. So that could be it. Take it for what it is. However, it is projected to be a really good news for cryptocurrencies. So for those who are not familiar with investing or new to investing, I want to introduce you to the concept that we call the whale. So in this article, of course, the link in the description below, they talk about Bitcoin whale, but this can be true to any of the cryptocurrencies that you saw on CoinMarketCap. So the whale is basically big money coming into the market. So it is believed that the whale have two things. They have a lot of money, so big player. So a Bitcoin whale is those who have a lot of money or a lot of Bitcoin, and they can certainly move the market based on the size of their position, based on how much money they have, and also based on the information that they receive. Although we do know that they kind of go hand in hand. If you have good information, typically means you have a lot of money, or vice versa. If you have a lot of money, you can get access to good information. So keep that in mind. Like the article says, the term whale has been applied to the wrong class of investor because the players described below are truly the biggest creature in the oceans. So whales they could be individuals, but a lot of time they are hedge funds and Bitcoin investment funds. Some of the Bitcoin whale that we know of are like Bitcoin investment trusts, Bitcoin index funds, and Bitcoin's reserves. So these are some of the biggest and largest funds that are playing in this market. And the reason why I want to bring up the concept of the whales, so to tell you that in this market, if you want to play the short-term game, so you're looking to make that 50% gains in the next few months. You're looking to make that 20% gains in the next couple of weeks, or whatnot. You can certainly play a long-term game, and that is a lot of difference, and there's a strategy for that I'm gonna present to you. But if you want to go in and out of the market and make that big gains, which is certainly possible, you will need, in my opinion, two things. You will need good access to information, and secondly, you will need access to a lot of capital. So you need at least one of the two. So for a lot of us, we don't have a lot of money. The focus should be on how do you get good information. And what I'm trying to tell you here is that I can present you any news. You can talk about CME, I can talk about CNBC talking about Bitcoin, I can talk to you about Amazon buying up these cryptocurrencies domains. But I'm not the only one who have access to these items here. A lot of people have the same, you can go on to CoinDesk and have access to the same information. So this information doesn't really give me an edge on what is going on in the market. The whale certainly doesn't rely on this information to make the investment. One could argue that the whale bought up most of the Bitcoin in this area here, or most of the Bitcoin in this area back here, when there was a dip after the Bitcoin Gold hard fork, and because they know that CME is gonna make the announcement that Bitcoin future is gonna open up, or they knew that CNBC, Brian Kelly, maybe it's a friend of Brian Kelly, maybe not. I'm just, I'm not trying to say that this is happening. I'm just saying that this is possibly within the realms of possibility. That somehow they know that CNBC is gonna air a very positive segment about Bitcoin, or they knew that Amazon is going to buy up these domains and it's gonna make the news. Therefore, they have already positioned themselves last week on this massive run of Bitcoin. I was on a 1 month chart, so on a 7 month chart you will see how massive this run really is. So unless you have a lot of money, or unless you have access to really good information, your second best bet is reading these headlines and think for yourself, what does it mean? Look beyond the headline and think for yourself, what does it mean? A lot of people are saying that, okay, so CME is gonna open up a Bitcoin future trading platform. That's a future trading platform. They're not buying and selling Bitcoin. They're buying and selling Bitcoin contracts. How does that matter to Bitcoin? Well, we have to think through, number one, we have to understand how the future contract works, and you have to understand who would benefit the most from this kind of contracts. And then we have to factor that into the current price of Bitcoin. Did the market price the information into it already? For example, did the market price CNBC recommendation into the current Bitcoin price already? And if the answer is yes, your next question is, did the market price that information correctly? And if you think that they are underprices, then there is an opportunity for you to get in and make some gains. Secondly, if the market is already priced in correctly, then Bitcoin may go up some more. I mean, I have no idea. No one have an idea on when, except if you are the whale, then you may have some idea whether or not Bitcoin can go up or down in the next few hours, the next few days. But for most people, we don't know. I have no idea Bitcoin go up or more. But if you believe that the news or the information you get, the market already priced it in, then you don't have an edge anymore. You don't have an advantage over another person in this case. Therefore, if you try to go in and out of the market based on that kind of information, it's going to be really hard for you to make money. So the moral of the story is trying to get good information. And if you cannot get good information, try to understand the information that you do have. Try to see if you can see something that someone else doesn't see. And that will give you an advantage as well. Guys and girls, I want to continue this video and share with you my strategy with cryptocurrencies or with investing overall. I'm not a day trader. I am a long-term trader, so I do things a little bit differently, and it works for me in the stock market, in the mutual funds market, and so far it is working for me in the cryptocurrencies market. And I want to share that with you, but that may have to be done tomorrow. I mean, this video is kind of long already. It's 17 minutes. So stay tuned for that. I will share with you my trading strategy tomorrow. And again, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel for more information. If you like the content, be sure to hit the like button, because it does help other people find the same information. And with that, I'd like to say thank you so much for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.